afternoon, good evening, night, wherever you are hearing this sweet, adorable voice of mine. It's me, your very favorite host, Pastor Mrs. Linda AMOAH, coming your way once more again this beautiful Tuesday morning with my encounter at Jericho. Yes, where we come to share our encounters with you, our preparation time, where God started with us and how far God has taken us. He is our maker. His word is come, follow me, and I will make you. It is just a command he has given unto us. If we are obeying his word and we will follow him, he will surely make us because Adonai is so in the making business. And as we all know, life in this world is indeed a very great struggle, both for the young and old, and even all those who think they have the great riches. They also have the troubles of their own. Are you looking forward to somebody that you are calling a mentor and you do not know the struggles, the preparation, the incubation times, the times of solitude that he has to go through, that he who has gotten to wherever he or she is? Now is the time for you to come online with us. My encounter at Jericho will let you know whoever you are aspiring to be with or to be like will also make you know the process that the fellow has passed through. Okay, let me use this medium to say a very, very, very good morning to our first gentleman of Upper Room AOG, Pastor Mark Asante Menu, and our first lady, Mama Comfort Asante Menu, for this great opportunity that you are giving to us also, that we come on board, that we'll be able to exhibit our God-given talent using this medium to what and propagate the gospel of Jesus Christ. So we say good morning to you, Daddy and Mommy, wherever you are. We so very much appreciate you all. To my fellow associate pastors, I say good morning. Morning. I'm here with my precious son, Pastor Daniel Opoku Mafo, who is already the head of the media team, always been my producer, my production manager. Pastor Dan, good morning to you, and thank you so much for your great support. Also to my family, I say good morning to my husband and my children. And also, will I leave my own manager out? No. Apostle Isaac Goldwater, wherever you are, I say good afternoon to you, wherever you are this morning. Yes, and to you who is also watching, the church board upper room members, you who is also watching on Facebook, on YouTube, I say good morning to you from my corner to yours. I don't know your time zone now, but if it's a good afternoon, I'm saying good afternoon. If it's an evening, I'm saying good evening. Today we have a great man of God with us, and he's apostle of the gospel, propagating the gospel of Jesus Christ, and also doing the work of God, here to share with us his genuine life experience that he has been through, the ups, the downs, the difficult moments, and how Adonai was able to scale him through. This morning, I wouldn't want to waste much time. I'll go straight to Apostle AMEGBANU. Good morning to you, Apostle Jenny Benson Abenu.
So it's good afternoon from where I'm speaking from. So good afternoon to you.
Yeah. Yes, it is an afternoon from your end, and it's good morning to me from my corner to your corner. Yes. So, viewers, today we are here with Apostle Apostle Jenny Benson, who is here to share with us his genuine life encounters with us, and also where God picked him from, and how far God has taken him, and where God wants to take him also. So, if you are somebody who is out there looking up onto him and seeing that, oh, always I see this man of God so fresh, so you are looking up to him, looking at his dressing, his postures, the way he does his miracles and everything, and you think that, oh, everything was so rosy. This is the opportunity for you to sit down. For as I always say, the mistake of our mentors becomes the gain of what the mentees. So if you are a mentee following Apostle, this is your great opportunity. The things that you have not heard from Apostle, you will be able to hear. One thing that I want you to do for me is to start sharing. And by sharing, I say you what automatically becomes an evangelist. Yes. So, Apostle, we here this morning, and we are so glad that Apostle Jenny, you have joined us this morning to share your encounters with us. I would like to read a little bio about Apostle, so that if you are out there and maybe you are looking forward to be like him, let's see. His name is Apostle Jenny Benson AMEGBANU, And Apostle is a pastor with the Penal City Prayer Palace, Ghana, led by Sia Michael Kwame Nwabenu. And also, he is also a diagnostic medical sonographer. So today, Apostle wait me ask that it tells me what is going on. Yes, and registered with the Allied Health Professionals Council, Ghana. Currently practicing with the Sai Osudoku District Hospital. Welcome once more again, Apostle. So, Apostle, this morning you're here to share with us. So, I'll first of all ask that, who is Apostle Benson?
Okay, so like you already rightly said, my name is Apostle Benson, and then Apostle Benson is a young growing man of God in Ghana, West Africa. Dodowa is where I stay. I was born to a family of about 5. My mother, my siblings, and then basically that's me. People call me the church boy because I'm always in church, always in church. And one of the things my mother used to always say is that when you come home and you don't find him, you go to school, you don't find him in school. The only place you could find him is the house of God. So basically, that is Apostle Benson. I'm a married man. I'm married to one wife, and then I'm blessed with a son.
So Apostle is married to one wife, very important, and God has blessed them with a son. So as Apostle said, he said, as for me and my family, we will serve the Lord, always sitting under the feet of God and seeking the face of God. So how did Apostle got to closer to God, or how did Apostle become so likened to the extent of always being in the presence of God?
All right, so from my family background, I would say a very big thank you to my mother, who has played a key role in grooming us into what we've become today by the help of God. And he has always pushed us to the things of God. We just need to be closer to God. Any other thing is absent in our lives. It's always about God. So from my childhood days and all that, I think that my Sunday school teachers and all that, they were playing a very big role into grooming us into what we are today, especially connecting us to the things of God. Now, there was a statement my mother used to always make, and that statement is that I've sacrificed you like Samuel unto the Lord. So therefore, everything about church should be what you should love. So from my childhood days, I've always loved the things of God. Now, growing up in my environment where I call the place Dodowa, with its challenges, amenities, and all that, it could push you into trying to join certain groups, certain gangs that maybe for them will be more profitable than loving God. But you see, God plans our ways, and God makes sure that He takes us through the road we are supposed to go through, so that His plans for our lives will be fulfilled. So way back in the JHS, we were part of this SU and all that, and pastors coming to preach to us, and that's that kind of a thing. One of the pastors who used to preach to us, I met him recently, and I was just standing there staring at him, and then I gathered courage to go to him. Now, when I got to him, I was like, Reverend, do you remember me? And he was just looking and staring. Then I tried to bring his mind towards, where we met and all that. He was one of the men of God who sacrificed their time to preach and nurture us in the ways of God. And I really thank God for the life of that man of God. Other than that, I don't know where most of us would have been. And during the times in the JHS, we were a group of boys who gathered, and then we were singing. God blessed us with the talent of singing. So we were singing during the SU and all that. And it happened that we felt we were just singing. But we didn't know that God, we always say that God used it as a trap, as a bait, to grab all of us into ministry. And as I speak, I'm very excited to say that Everybody who were part of that group in the JHS today, we are all ministers of God. We are all ordained ministers of God, and it has been a blessing. So my journey into the things of God and to loving God began right from day one. It began right from day one.
Wow. Wow. So right from birth, mommy sacrificed Apostle Jenny Benson to the house of God. And so Apostle, one will ask that, is it because mommy told you that you should be in the house of God, or you have been a sacrificial lamb? It became a portion, it came to you that, okay, I have no option than just to serve God. Or has it been a real passion within you that you needed to be in the house of God all the time?
All right, so when you see the kind of things that surround you, and then the kind of ups and downs you go through, with time, even if mommy pressurized me from being there, with time, I got to understand that I need to know God for myself. I need to desire God. It is true that mommy wants me to always be in church and do the things of God. But as time went on, I developed it for myself that no, I want to serve God. I need to love God. I need to be around the things of God. So it is something that evolved with time. As I started growing and then going to, so I was in this church, Assemblies of God also. You know, Penal City Prayer Palace is more like a non-denominational fellowship.
Yeah.
So I've been in Assemblies of God for the past 32 years. I basically grew up in the church. And our church was more like a growing church. So we were not really having a church building and all that. And mommy would always sack me on Sunday morning to go and pack instruments, and make sure that the church is swept, the chairs are arranged, and all that. So God actually gave me a broom before he gave me a microphone. So those are the things we were doing. I need to go to church, make sure that the setup is done, everything. So as I speak now, there is no group in the church I cannot work in. The media group, the praise and worship, which part, any part of the church I could function in. So with time, I evolved to love the things of God and also to crave to follow God.
Wow. Wow. With time, my apostle developed. So the Bible says, train the child the way he should go. And when he is old, he will never depart from it. This is also one thing that mommy imparted in apostle. And with time, apostle himself grew. And this drew my attention when he said that the mother has given him to as a sacrificial lamb, like Hannah gave Samuel out unto Eli. It says that when Samuel wanted to know God and also want to know, when the time came that God was calling Eli, calling Samuel had to go back onto Eli and say that, are you calling? The teacher said, no. When you hear the voice again, say, oh, speak, for thy servant heareth. So I'll go to Apostle on this note and I'll ask Apostle, so how did you know you really had the call of God upon your life?
All right, so when I came to the call of God upon my life, one, there were a lot of prophecies. There were a lot of prophecies about it. Then basically myself, revelations in the form of dreams. I had a lot of them. Sometimes I see myself behind the podium preaching 1,000,001 times. Sometimes I see my senior pastor, my pastor from Assemblies of God. Today he's late. He's going to be with the Lord, Reverend Isaac Bukansi. And I see sometimes he will call me to stand behind the podium and deliver the word of God. Then he will tell me straightforward that I see the call of God upon your life. Then I confirm it to him by telling him, oh, I also see visions and dreams about myself in ministry. And that is how come I became an apostle today. Praise be to God.
Wow. 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 So I will ask this question. You know, when you're growing up, and you get into school. So I'm bringing you back a little bit. Growing up and then doing the work of God. And as you said, way back in JSS, you were all doing that, you had a group. We know that when you are in school and you were saying you joined SU, we have these sayings that people normally use to mock Christians, and then they start to give you names by calling Krife. And then this Krife, the main meaning of it, so many people don't know the meaning, and then so many Christians, when they are being called Krife, they become so happy about it because they think, but the main meaning of it as a fake Christian, meaning that you have a different life you are living that someone might know, and at the same time, you are portraying yourself to become like what, a Christian or work in the house of God. Now, what were the difficulties that you passed through that maybe it came to a point where you decided that, okay, I don't even want to exhibit Christ for others to see in me? Did you face any difficulties during school time? Let's start from JSS. At that time, I know you were a little bit grown up, that you will understand what knowing Christ means and then also serving God means.
All right. So way back at the JSS, there were this group of people. It looks like we are in two groups where we have those who are like the prepaid type. Then we have those who, in quotes, they would I call them wayward, or they decided to choose whatever they want to do with their lives, and nobody cares. Now we were seen on the other angle of the whole coin. So they see us as people who they prefer lifestyle, so that whatever you cannot do, you cannot involve yourself in. Although you are a young boy who is trying to experiment, you are a young man who wants to actually join your friends and that kind of a thing. One of the things that we faced in that particular circle was rejection. Mm-hmm. So that you cannot join us when we are playing. You cannot join us when we are cracking our jokes. You cannot join us in maybe extracurricular activities where we want to go out. Sometimes some of them have girlfriends and all that. You cannot have it because you have chosen a particular path. And that path you have chosen cannot allow you to do certain things. Mm. Now, this thing also grew into the secondary school, and it's happening like that. Some of us, it's in our nature just to be children. But you see, the kind of pressure around us sometimes pushes us to want to also experiment certain things. But you see, the moment they call you Krife, you dare not. You just cannot do it anymore. You understand? But you see, I will see it in a more positive light, which actually molded us into who we are today. Who knows if I had just joined those groups, what would have happened to my life today? So I believe that even though they were calling us names and all that, it was really helping us. And God being so good, we those who they call Christians were a little intelligent when it comes to book. So in as much as you don't even want us to be close to you, you will surely come around because your homework must be done. And somebody must help you do that homework. So in as much as they were calling us those names, it really helped us, it molded us, it brought us closer more unto God.
So in as much that through the rejection and everything, they still needed them. Yes, because God is the one that has all the wisdom, not service him and then goes back out astray. But if you really serve God diligently with all your heart and in your mind, he also has a position that he places you. No matter what it is, they will come back to you, just as they did unto Joseph. They had to go back unto him, even when he was in prison. Now they have to take away his garment and give him a new cloth, making him the prime minister. Look at how complete. It sometimes marvels at the way in which God grooms us right from the beginning. The beginning might be difficult, but the end result. So he says, I have a plan for you. Plan of good to bring you to what? Unexpected end. That expected end is what we are all looking at. So, Apostle, I'll ask again this question that, okay, now coming into Christ, you knowing Christ through your education, God giving you the wisdom, academic excellence that you had to go through. After school, continuing your life as a Christian, I remember way back, and others, some friends were saying that it seems as if those of us who are serving Christ finding it even difficult to connect with others, because wherever we go, we don't. But those who don't serve, they immediately they get the corner, and then they achieve what they want to achieve, even in workplaces and everything. What are some of the difficulties you have really faced by serving Christ?
Okay, so that's a very good one. Now, when I completed school, that is the junior high school, then I went to the secondary school. I spent 3 years by then in the secondary school. Now I came out of secondary school, and then ideally it is assumed that every child who completes the secondary school to push to the university. But then I had to stay in the house for almost 5 solid years before going to the university, although my grades were really good. Now, I had to do a lot of work because Satan decided to lay his hands on my family.
Hmm.
So I got into secondary school, or almost getting out of secondary school with a broken home.
Hmm.
With a broken home. So then I had to be under the care of my mother, who was a single mom, and then trying to hustle to take care of myself and also my siblings. And it wasn't a joke. It wasn't a small hurdle we had to cross, because my siblings were also now some entering the secondary school, some also coming. I had cousins who were staying with us, and all these people were my mother's responsibility. So I had to work. I personally had to work to also support. So I remember one of the things that I would like to also share as a testimony is about how God always makes a way for me when I'm looking for jobs.
Hmm.
Can you believe that I have never written an application all my life?
Wow.
A job application. I've never written. I've never written. Uh-huh. So God makes a way in that I'm able to land jobs or get jobs that I do without me suffering. So that was what helped me to be able to overcome certain financial challenges we're having at home. But it was never easy. If I tell you it was easy, it was never easy. Let me share this testimony. Now, I was in the house one of the days after I had completed the secondary school. Then I was sleeping, taking a nap, somewhere around 11 a.m. Then an uncle of mine who was working in the Ghana Health Service by then as a nurse picks his phone and calls me, and he's like, the Health Research Center in Dodowa is actually recruiting new staff. And then, haven't I heard it? Why did I apply? That was like, oh, I didn't hear, so that's why I didn't apply. And he said, they are recruiting people and you are here sleeping. Get up and go. So when he said I should get up and go, I was like, it is almost 12 o'clock. And with 12 o'clock, if somebody is recruiting people and you are supposed to be present, ideally by 7 a.m., you are supposed to be there. Nevertheless, I took my dress, wore it, and then I went there reluctantly. When I got there, I saw a lot of people sitting outside. And then, as I saw them, I just mixed up with the crowd because I didn't know what was really going on. Then, 5 minutes after.
Apostle, your line is going on mute.
No, it's not on mute.
Okay, it went on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So a man opens the gate, and then when he opens the gate, you know the question he asks, have everybody written your names? So then I said, no, I've not written my name. Then he gave me a paper. I wrote my name. Then he said, everybody enter the hall. Then he locked the door.
Wow.
Pastor, meaning that from 7 a.m. to about 11 a.m., 12 a.m., I was the only person they were waiting for.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
The revelation I was the only person they were waiting for.
Mm.
Then we entered into the hall. We wrote the exams. Out of about 100 people who were present, I was the second person chosen.
Wow. Wow.
This is a miracle.
Mm.
And this is just one of the many things God has done for me. And I'm so grateful. Now, after 5 years, applied to the university. They accepted me to read medical laboratory science. So I started the school, and it was because I'm no longer working. Supporting myself to pay the fees and others became a little of a challenge. But then I was striving on, striving on. Then one day, I had a call from Dema Camp. Dema Camp is where the soldiers are in Accra here. Yes. So then they were recruiting new soldiers. So apparently somebody had recommended my name. So then was bought for me by somebody. So I filled it, and then I had the desire to join the Ghana Armed Forces. Now, I was already in school in level 100 at Accra Polytechnic. Then I filled the forms with the idea that at least if I joined the military, my suffering would have ended a little. So I filled it. I went for enlistment, and I passed for the selection. I wrote the exams. Everything was going on well. Then it got to medicals. And after medicals, then you are going to training school. Now it got to medicals only for my name to vanish on the list.
Wow.
Remember, I had quit school to go for enlistment. So I am losing two things at the same time. My education and my chance of joining the Ghana Armed Forces is also gone. Imagine how stupid I looked in my home. It was really, really a big challenge. Remember, I am the firstborn of my home, and my siblings are looking up to me, and it happens that it is assuming that the firstborn must open the way for the siblings to follow. Then, after I struggled 5 solid years to go into school, I lose my education because I wanted to join the Ghana Armed Forces. Apparently, my siblings will not understand that joining the forces would have relieved me a little from financial stress, and they might not understand the reason behind my action. But then, all they know is that our brother did not try. All the people around me know is that he didn't try, and he's back home with us. So this is one of the challenges, in fact, one of the trying moments of my life. I stayed home for another 2 solid years. It was a joke. Until somebody recommended a wayside school that they were learning sonography, how to scan and all those things. And I said, instead of being in the house, let me just go there and see if I can also learn one or the other. Apparently, I didn't even know what sonography was. But I just had to go because there was nothing to do. I spent another 2 solid years in that fake school. Apparently, they had taken our school fees, and we couldn't even get a certificate as I speak to you. Wow, yes. So then, when I left that place, something miraculously happened. When I left that place, there's a hospital over here in Dodowa. It's a private hospital. So I went there to do an attachment with them to see if I could polish up the little I learned from there. Then I met the medical director or the CEO of the hospital. In fact, our first interaction, the man just rejected me and told me nothing good can come out of me. So I went home. Then his secretary asked at the time, who knew and was a classmate of myself at the JHS, went back to the boss and told him, no, you've made a mistake. The guy you just sacked, there is something really good in him because I really know him. So he called me back. I went and we spoke. He gave me a chance. But that kind of a chance they will give you with a rope attached to it, that it's not really, a friendly kind of chance. So that was what he did. I stayed with him for 6 months. And glory be to God. By the time I had finished 6 months and I was about to leave. This man wept and didn't want to go.
Mm. Mm.
He didn't want to go. Apparently, he's a surgeon. And then one of the days I had diagnosed a particular disease, and he went into the theater, and it happened that what I diagnosed was what he saw upon operating the patient. He was so excited. He just walked straight to my office and called me Charlie. Imagine your boss calling you Charlie. You know, the excitement
The excitement is so huge.
Wow. So that was how we became friends. We traveled together to do surgeries. I started assisting him gradually. Then something miraculously happened again. He just looked at me one day. He called me. We sat and we were talking. Then he said, "Hey, I will help you.
Mm.
No matter the height of education you want to go, I will help you."
Wow.
I looked at his face. I wasn't part of his children. He has children. He could have trained them. He had other employees. And remember, I went to that place without a certificate. I just went there because I told him I had a little knowledge about sonography. So he did the polishing of the sonography and everything. So one day, I was there, and a friend called me from the Quack school we attended and told me that UCC, University of Ghana, actually is recruiting or is opening a school where they are training sonographers, those who already have knowledge in the field. So you see what God did? That made me go through 2 solid years of studying sonography in one place. That to give me an experience because a chance was about to open in the near future.
Mm.
And that chance demands somebody who has knowledge, at least 2 solid years experience in that field.
Mm.
So that I can also have a degree in diagnostic medical sonography. When the problems come, when the issues come, God sometimes is silent.
Mm.
He does not tell us why you go through what you are going through.
Mm.
When you are writing an examination, Pastor, the examiner, okay, is always silent. He doesn't give you the answer, although he knows the answer.
Yeah.
He sits in the examination hall and watches you with sometimes his hand by his cheek like this, and he's just watching you.
Mm.
But you see, he's the one conducting the examination. He might not give you an answer to the what questions he's asking you, but you believe that what he who has called you will take you to the perfect place he has called you. He has what your plans has. He has you in mind, and no matter the ups and downs you go through, God has planned and purposed you for greatness. And therefore, that greatness can only be delayed, but will never be denied you.
Mm. Mm.
I had a chance to join the university. They accepted me. I wrote the entrance exams. And somebody who I thought all hope was lost, whom I thought that was the end of the road for me, I thought possibly I would just remain with my secondary school certificates just like that. God made a way for me that today I'm a certified diagnostic medical sonographer, registered with an allied health team, working in one of the biggest hospitals in Ghana, and it is just by the grace of God. It's just by the grace of God. It's just by the grace. What can I say?
We can't say anyone more can we say. Yeah, continue.
You see, so I was able to get my degree. Then I went to Bible school and got a degree in theology. Then I proceeded to get a master's in divinity. So after I have a master's in divinity, I have a degree in theology. I also have a degree in diagnostic medical sonography. It's not the law. If it is not the law, what can we say? In fact, I wanted to start my testimony. I wanted to start my testimony today from the very beginning of life. How
You can
well
still
can I share my
continue.
testimony? I don't go to the very beginning. I don't know whether I can proceed.
You can proceed. We need it.
So, so you see, when God predestinates a man, he protects the person.
Yeah.
No matter the ups and downs, one thing he will not allow the enemy to do is to lay a finger over your life.
Mm.
So you might be afflicted in many ways, but because he has predestinated you for a particular purpose, I don't know who is online watching it, but I believe that God is protecting your life and God is taking you from one level of your life to another, whereby the enemy will not touch your life. Your life is preserved in God. Now, the story about my birth. The story about my birth. Um, I was born in a village or a town somewhere in the region. They call the place Germany. So those times I used to tell people, hello,
Can hear you.
okay. So those times I used to tell people I was born in Germany. But it's just a town in Ghana here called Germany.
Germany,
And
yeah.
I was born in a market. I was born in the marketplace. One day my mommy came to the market and they gave birth to me there. So in the middle of the market I was born. Then my village where my mother was, you have to ride 4 hours in a canoe to cross the Volta Lake to get to that place. So then, what happened is that my mother took me back to the village. She was having a misunderstanding with one of the uncles as at the time. And you know, the buildings over there were thatched buildings. They were buildings with the thatch. Yes, so no roofing sheets like we have today. So I was just 2 weeks old born. Then I was laid to sleep inside one of the huts. Then this uncle of my mother, who was angry with my mother, decided to set the house ablaze. So I was sleeping in the room over there, and then he put fire in the building. Apparently, my mother was. I think people are sharing the link, so it's. My mother was far away from the house.
Yes, let's acknowledge viewers on the line, and then let's also give Apostle Jenny Benson a little bit of time so that he comes back to us. Okay, so we welcome those of YouTube. If you're on YouTube, please say hi, and then we will be able to acknowledge you. I see a lot of people on YouTube. Kindly share to friends and family that they will also become a blessing unto us. Yes, and also I see Mama Grace Mensa online, and Mama Grace is saying that's looking great, both of you. Apostle, you are welcome. Yeah, Apostle is really, really welcome. And then I see a Simon Grayson who is also watching with us. Alberta Tubesi is also watching with us. Pastor Andrew Kume is also watching. Nelson Maulolo is also watching with us. And Nelson says that we don't give up. Yes, and then Cindy to Cherish is also giving us a heartbeat. That's his heartbeat for us. And he said that we are indeed preserved. This is coming from Cindy. If you are also watching us over right on YouTube and also on Facebook, please keep sharing to friends, keep sharing to families. If you come on YouTube, give us a wave, a hi or an amen, so we'll be able to acknowledge you, because we cherish each and every one of you who is indeed watching with us. Yes, Apostle's line is gone off a little bit. He's going to join us once more again. But it's so marvelous that what will bring to that age that an uncle will set a house at blaze. Apostle will come back to share with us why the house was set ablaze out of anger. Yes, if you are a Christian out there and you are listening today, let's take hatred and anger out of our life, because it becomes cancerous in our body. It kills us individually who is having it, because all the time you are just going around looking for somebody that you want to hate, looking for a bad omen that you want to talk about, looking for somebody that you will set them apart. And let's remember that those who gathered together to set Daniel apart, to set him up before the king, they were rather was being eaten up by the lion. So if you are there is a time that God calls everybody, and God has a purpose and a reason and preserves each and everybody's life who was he has called and predestined. As Apostle really said, that if God calls anybody, he what predestines you and also preserves your life. God has a calling for everyone on us of us, and he has a reason for calling all of us. So if you are being called, if you are being chosen, to them that are called, he chose them. If you are being called and being chosen by God, be careful how you sell others out. Be careful how you sell your colleagues out. Be careful how you are able to bring out words. It's not everything that you hear that you have to act on or go out to talk about. Because remember, the Bible says that he who thinks that he is standing should watch that he never fall. Now, I say, these are the things that is moving on in our Christian life these days, and it's really killing the church. Hatred. And this is an opportunity that I'm inviting you to tomorrow's program in the Family Garden, where we'll be coming in with Dr. Abeko Hackman, all the way from London, to join us tomorrow on Family Garden. So Family Garden will come your way tomorrow afternoon, as we are still waiting for Apostle Jenny Benson to join us online. I think his line and network went off. Let me take this opportunity to do the announcement of the church. Yes, so God willing, tomorrow, Wednesday, we will be having Family Garden at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time here in the United States. If you are in Ghana, it's going to be around 5:36 or 5:30, yes, in the evening. You join us. We want to see why this cancer is eating up the church. You are there, you have that spirit in you, and you don't know the result of it. If you join us tomorrow on Family Garden with Pastor Kumi being the chairperson and myself, you are going to know what is really happening in your body. Yeah, what be ba e koso wa brabo ne mu. Won ti ase ye was empire body wetimi en. So what such what doing? You take away all those selfish gain. Some of them are not say they be for real. Yes, it's not a big amount of money that you will give out over there, but rather the mindset. You take away your selfish gain, because God wants us to be like him. God wants us to be like him. So let's be very, very careful. If indeed we say we are followers of Jesus Christ, we should also imitate his life. So God willing, tomorrow we will be coming live. Yes, on Facebook, on YouTube at 1:30 p.m. Also, we have programs like Morning Glory, which I call it Jimmy Tata to Church, hosted by my dear very own daughter, Mavis and Kama Faye, every Sunday morning from the hours of 8:30 in the morning and all the way. This time she has even extended the time to 9:50. So she gives us the word motivation, and also it comes on with a powerful, powerful music that even when you went to church and you are so tired, you will come back and you don't feel like coming to church. These songs will quicken your mortal bodies. These words that comes out from the motivational song will also help you, that you will be able to get up, dress up, and then quickly pick up your mat, and then you will come to the presence of God to join the saints to worship God. So every Sunday morning on YouTube and also on Facebook, just follow us. Yes, follow us on YouTube, Upper Room AOG Radio TV, and then you will be able to get all our notifications when the time is right. Then in the evening, after church service, when you come home to eat all your fufu, your shawarmas, your pastries, and everything, and then you are planning for the week, then we come your way with, I say, that them special. My 99K, Dikin Nana Kodia will come your way with Sabbath. That he comes in with the Adadem special songs that you have heard so long, that he come. Now, one thing you are not doing for me now. Say, reggae no, until you have to adopt for me. Yes, I give it up onto my own 99K. He gives you a them special words of inspiration also, and sometimes asks you to reflect on what you also learned from church. A train again, and my unique by also with the word. As the word says, as I said, he did not forsake the word for anything that he did. Yes, I also want to as someone I never be for in the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word itself was God. Yes, so that these all programs comes on Sunday. Then on Wednesday, Tuesday mornings, as you see me sitting here, from 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We come your way with my encounter at Jericho, and then we come to share our life, give our life testimonies, where God picked us from, how He has preserved our lives, Adonai, the steps He's taking us through, His preparation period, the birthing period, the incubation period, our time of solitude, and then the way God nurtures us and where He positions us, and the dreams He gives ahead of us. Yes, these are the things, the testimonies we come to share are difficult moments, because everyone has a Jericho wall in the life that we face. Some of them are running, others are crawling, some are clapping, some are singing. Each and everyone has a procedure in which God lets them pass through their Jericho walls. So that is why we come your way every Tuesday with my encounter at Jericho. Yes. Then we come again your way also on Wednesday morning. My very son, Pastor Daniel Opoku Mafo himself, the head of the media team, comes your way with Gospel Hour. Yes, word of knowledge, words of inspiration, that he comes our way every Wednesday morning from 10 to 11:30 in the morning. He comes with the worship. Oh my goodness, midweek worship. Oh, you will love it. You will love it. Prepares your mind, your heart, your whole being into the presence of God. It is so marvelous. It is so marvelous. And then afterwards, he brings us words of inspiration, word of knowledge, that we will be able to understand the word. Then we zoom into praise. Handkerchief, no, you sweat out all the worries away from your life, and then afterwards you skill through to continue the day's journey. It doesn't matter where you are. Just pick up your earpiece, put your earpods, and then put them in your ears. Join us on all these programs, and then you will love it. You will surely love it. On Saturdays, we also have the Next Generation show that also talks mostly about the youth, and also help us know what the things that the youth are going through. So it's also mostly for the youth and also parents who don't know what their children go on during school times, and then in their colleges and in the secondary schools, we don't know what goes on in their life. Yes, so these are the things when we come your way with our Next Generation program that we are able to scale through. It's so much very unfortunate that Apostle couldn't join us, I think, because of network problem. But we will surely pick Apostle back again whenever he is ever ready again to share with us, because he was yet in coming to share a live testimony what anger made or ate the ankle to the extent of setting a house that he, as a baby, a 2-week baby, was laying in. Therefore, no time baby. This is for me. This is against me. It will not take you and I anywhere. And Apostle Awintia said this when we were doing our rulers convention about 2-3 weeks ago. He said that one day, a time will come that we enter into heaven. You'll be looking for your colleague, thinking that yeah, we are groups. Oh yes, this is against me, this is for me, and that's and whatsoever. And then at that place, no, also be krasini and heaven. And you might be end the hop. The uncle young krasi for heaven room. It's as a uber papa. Apa we so we will promo me and me asante me infant me infant for level na me asante for level there be a whole Christo for and a bon. It's a way Christo near Christo na afrawa. Mama ya brampo. Ye me ye, and it's in ye man. Ye and so Christo any. Now, we see what penny for baby says, oh, you are one sir. No, I had the bay. Now I shall one sir. It's unsensible. One way and why we won't say the afra. The nay at all, young one of the nay near walker, the woman any my old besibisi, who fetch the pop will be a shab abra bomu, a Becky Cassidy a bay ya, send the party to time crew women. When we saw almost as I won't know just anybody position, and Cadian and I'll obey. We one. No, what I Daniel, wow, born moon chain, a twinkling in the home, a kick out some of the fan home, trade 2 women. One more Daniel, they will down the car. The nipple being na the man was as a phone and go. Daniel submitted himself unto God to the extent that he was being delivered out of the lions. But the people that were taken, even inside, they did not get there. These are the things that God does for us. This is where far God has brought us. So, God willing, next week we will pick again. If possible, Apostle Benson will come to give us his life experience with us. And so we apologize for the break in transmission. doing his testimony where it was to the interesting part. So this is where we draw the curtain. God willing, next week Tuesday, if Christ tarries and does not come, we will come your way again with my encounter at Jericho. It's been me, your very favorite host, Pastor Mrs. Linda AMOAH. We came your way with my encounter at Jericho. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for sharing, and keep sharing that your life will automatically become an evangelist. Yes. Thank you so much. So we'll meet again, God willing, next week, Tuesday. So it is bye-bye for now.
Here I bringing the gospel to your doorstep. Everybody sing it. Let's go. Tabana, Yamitsu. Baby,